Jenny McCarthy Show.
Oh, shit. Feel that? He's in the studio. I'm so excited, you guys. He was my old trainer. He became famous. I knew he was. And he's still the same cool guy, even with all the fame and fortune. Bob Harper, welcome.
Hi, Jenny.
How are you?
Good. It's so funny when we were just talking before we went on. I thought we were actually on because I was just like, wait. We got gold. We were talking about poor Jenny just frozen to death on New Year's Eve.
Right? I know. Although I gave them the whole intro of my
I'm
frozenness.
sure.
So Bob was my trainer, you guys, when I was pregnant. And he would always give me compliments because I'd be in boot camp with all these non-pregnant people. And I'm 9 months literally doing like everything everybody else was, giving it my all.
You know that I still, to this day, talk about training you and the fact I was like, Jenny McCarthy, that girl with that body, when you were pregnant, how much weight did you gain?
90.
That's right. I say 100. I was like, my girl gained 100 pounds, and nobody believes it. I'm like this. Google it. I'm sure there's going to be a picture. And like, I just loved it because you gave zero fuck. Can I say?
Yes.
I was like, you gave zero fucks. I mean, you literally were like, you know what? I'm pregnant. You ate everything. But you worked out every day.
I did. And you know what helped? I was able to, I think, to lose the weight faster because my muscles were in shape.
And I
had tons of fat.
But I also think that you got to lose it really quickly because that weight wasn't really yours. Does that make sense? Like,
well, Evan wasn't 90 pounds, but yes, I get that.
But you know what I mean, though? Even though like you had gained all that weight and that wasn't all baby weight, it wasn't your body. It wasn't yours. So it was like your body was just kind of, our bodies are so smart. So it's just like, you know what? Get rid of it.
Right?
It wasn't like you were, 100 pounds overweight your whole life.
I will never have 3 chins again. That's all I have to say.
Boy, but you were so happy.
I was so happy.
You were so happy and giggly. I mean, it was great.
I was a very happy pregnant lady, and Bob made me happy. Let's promote your book. I'm so excited. It's the Super Carb Diet. Shed pounds, build strength, eat real food. This is the perfect time of the year because everyone wants to get on a diet. Tell me what this book is.
Well,
the Super Carb Diet.
I'm excited about this book because what I'm doing is trying to press the reset button on people's diet. I think that everyone has gone to these extremes. We all know the tricks of the trade. We know how to get weight off quickly, but what I want to do is put balance back onto everyone's plate and realize that you can eat a sandwich and not feel like you have committed some sort of cardinal sin. And and I find that we live in a time now that people are thinking, oh, I can eat all the fat that I want. It needs to be all protein as long as it's low carb. And whilst all those really work, I want more of a balance so you can just still eat all your macronutrients.
So what is that percentage on your diet?
Yeah, well, everybody's different, and so in the book, I even make I kind of go into a whole diatribe about there's math involved, and it gets tricky, but
right.
We find out how much protein you should be eating, how much fat, how much carbs you should be eating at every single meal, and it's just. Even if you get to a point where you look at the plate and you've not done any of your math, but you kind of give a little bit of each, and that's what I used to say with the contestants on my show back in the day. It's like, as long as you're kind of like hitting everything in this serving size, you're going to be doing pretty well. But if you really want to dial it in, that's when you're going to have to pull out the old calculator.
You know what? I got to remember, Bob, you were the one person in my life that said, because I said, what is the secret? What is the secret? And you said, Jenny, it's 90% what you put in your mouth.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like you can get toned all you want, but if we're working out, it's what you put in your mouth.
Yeah. And I'll tell you, because I still believe that, but one thing that has shifted since my heart attack was I realize that stress and how you manage your stress is the catalyst to all of it. Because if you're super stressed out, it's going to affect your sleep. It's going to affect the food choices you make. It's going to affect whether you decide you're going to go to the gym or not. And so if like you find ways to manage your stress, you're going to be able to have this balanced, healthy lifestyle that we're all looking for.
You know what? I mean, I was obviously going to move into talking about it, but since you brought it up, I literally like dropped the phone when I found out that you had a heart attack.
Wasn't it crazy?
I was literally blown away. You're the last person on earth I ever would have thought would have a heart attack.
Yeah.
And it happened. What happened?
Jenny, imagine this. I mean, me, the person that like has devoted his whole life and career
like a priest to religion.
That's right, to health and fitness. I woke up in a hospital 2 days later after being in a coma, being told by friends and family. It happened here in New York. They were all in from LA and Tennessee, and they were like, you had a heart attack. And I remember just being so confused by it all. It was just like, wait a minute, you didn't read you didn't read this right. There's no way. But it did happen, and it was a crazy time because not only, Jenny, did I have the heart attack, but I immediately went into cardiac arrest. I had something called a widowmaker, and if I would not have been where I was, I would not be here talking to you right now. I mean, it's nuts. Like, it wasn't one of those, like, and I've talked to so many people now about heart attacks and their experience, and a lot of times you have like the numbing of the arm and the headache, and like, you know, people are starting to feel like they're getting a heart attack, and you know, they get to the hospital. The kind that I had was just like lights out.
Whoa. So
Yeah.
you don't remember even like going down?
I don't remember that day. The last thing I remember was being at dinner the night before with really good friends, and we had an early dinner. We were discussing what time we were going to get together and go to the gym, and it was a Sunday morning. I mean, I got up. I don't remember any of this, but I got up. I, ate breakfast. I walked my dog to the gym. My friends were saying that like I was already like in this kind of fog and complaining about being dizzy. And then my friend Sean said in the middle of the workout, you just laid down on your side, and he was just like, something was up. And then I went from laying on my side to just, they said, rolling onto my back, and just was turning blue, like, within a couple of minutes.
So someone started CPR on you.
Oh, yeah. So like I was so lucky that there happened to be fast acting people, which, let me tell you, I am so now one of these people. If you see something, do something.
That's right.
Because if I wouldn't have had those people go into action mode, like immediately calling 911, there was an AED in the gym, an automatic defibrillator.
Thank God.
They grabbed that thing down, and there was a doctor in the gym that day who wasn't even a member, Jenny. He was like, he was my guardian angel. I mean,
absolutely.
I was not supposed to die this day.
No.
And he said he came down expecting to see like somebody like hurt their head or whatever. And he was like, I saw Bob Harper laying on the ground where they were trying to perform CPR. I was already blue. And he was just like, I had to get everyone out of the way. Jenny, he said that they put the AED on me and it wouldn't go off because I was already in what they call asystole. So it was like my heart was just stopped. I was dead on that floor. And that's when he was just like, we have got a major issue. And he just kept going until those paramedics. And yeah, and finally those defibrillators that the paramedics brought, and then like the AED finally started working on me.
You don't have any memories of like a near-death experience or anything like that?
I don't have anything like that. And it was really like, it was kind of like sad and beautiful in a way because one of my best friends, her father had just passed recently. And that was one of her first questions. She was just like, did you see anything? And I didn't see anything. And she was just so wanting to hear me say something. But like, I did that show, the Long Island Medium?
Yes.
Yes. Which I loved her. She was fantastic. But yeah, she made a comment. She said that doctor that was there was like my mother, because my mother had died. And she was like, the guardian angel was like your mother. And, she came to rescue you because you've still got work to do on this planet.
That intervention was absolutely divine. And how has it changed? It had to change your life from this point on. Like from that point on, how do you view it differently?
Well, everything's different now. And like, not to sound like, a Miss America type answer,
No.
but like, Jenny, everything's different. I don't give a fuck about all the stuff,
Yes.
I don't like the things that I used to be so stressed out about, like, my next job or, what's going on here, like all the little things, all the big things. It's like, it doesn't matter. None of it matters, because when you realize that your life can be taken from you
Like
in an
that.
instant like that, like I've reprioritized, and I thought about this too, because like, me, Jenny, I'm very fit. I like to, I love being that guy that was 51 and like I was, super fit, and like it was kind of like, a badge of honor. I'm like, yeah, look at me, and I've got the 6-pack and all that. And then I thought, after the heart attack, I thought, what? I'm gonna be a corpse in that casket with a 6-pack? Who? Like, who cares?
Wow.
Yeah, and so it's like I'm much more appreciative.
I bet, because not only do you realize, wow, it's not just about my outside. I've got to do some spiritual inside.
Without a doubt, it's that.
Work.
And also telling people, because it's been a mission of mine too, to get
course.
people to really focus on know your real health. Just because you look great on the outside, you need to see your doctor or healthcare providers and see what's going on the inside.
Did you ever get an EKG in your life before this?
I had EKGs before,
And they didn't pick this up?
No, because like I had this genetic issue called lipoprotein A, and I talk about this in my book. When you go to the doctor, you need to make sure that like you're finding out about when you get your cholesterol checked,
Yes.
you need to make sure that they check your HDL, LDL, and LPA, because that's a genetic issue that I had. And so, my doctor said to me, it was a matter of time for you to have this heart attack. It was just so, you were so lucky that it happened where it happened.
Did you say, why the hell didn't you tell me I was genetically prone for
No
it?
shit. Like,
Yeah.
And I remember, because before my heart attack, I was having these dizzy spells. I had fainted, and I had a doctor just say to me, he was like, you probably have vertigo, so it's like maybe you should take some Dramamine, because again, don't judge a book by its cover. Look at what's going on more than what you look like.
So do you talk about all this in your book?
Yeah, it's interesting, Jenny. I was writing this book before my heart attack, but then like, when I was during my recovery, I was going through so much emotionally and physically that I really decided I needed to kind of go back to the drawing board when it came to the book, and I'm really proud of this book. I'm really excited about this book because it's my most personal. This is my 6th book, and
Wow.
and I'm really proud of this book more so than ever, because it's me. Like it's me, all warts and all, and also. Really talking to people about their diet and how important it is to find that balance again, and because that's what I'm in search of and have been searching for in life for so many ways, not just your eating, but finding that balance, and that's what the Super
That's
Carb
what I'm
Diet.
looking for right now.
Yeah.
Like a balance in every area.
That's right.
Because I love to work.
I know
but,
you do.
I'm also letting like my everything else kind of go, and I got to find the balance.
Yeah, because like knowing you the way that I do, and I watch you and I see like you're always on the go, and I get it, and I just want you to really. And I would say this to anyone, just like really just stop for a moment and just really be appreciative of like, where you are, and, the love that's in your life and the friends that you have, because those things are important. I think that people always ask like, what's your New Year's resolution, especially this time of year. And it's like, I really do try to find a moment in a day, every single day, that I just kind of look around and go, you know what? It's good. No matter what's going on in the world, no matter what, what's stressing me out or everyone else, it's like, life is good. So it's like, don't just like take that in, because it starts to change your whole nervous system, I think.
You're right. I definitely do. I have a moment once a day where I do a gratitude moment. So I have that penciled in.
Good.
Gratitude moment. So I stop and go, all right, everything's great.
Yeah.
Everything's great.
Yeah.
I cannot wait to read this book. Especially since you've gone through that experience, that I feel like you were meant to then deliver this message right now, this way.
I'll tell you, I tell people that when they first pick up the book, you should go to the end where the acknowledgments are, because at the very end, I thank Whitney Houston and the whole group of people that made The Bodyguard, because I was in the hospital. I was depressed. I mean, I was a wreck, and my boyfriend had gotten them to bring in a TV with a DVR player, and we sat in that hospital room, and we watched The Bodyguard and ate a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. And I was like, you know what? As bad as it is, you know what? Life is good because The Bodyguard's there.
Oh my God, that makes me laugh so
right?
much. I am so happy to see your face. I'm so happy. I was literally, I fell on the ground. I was like, it's just because I love you and I'm so proud of you. And
we have history.
We do. We have history. I've watched your journey. You've taught me so much. And some people deserve success. You're one of those people that absolutely deserves it. You've done the work. You're a good person. You know what you're talking about. And now more than ever, you have a real message to bring.
I love you, Jenny. You're the best.
I love you, Bob Harper. Do you still have that crazy phone number that's like 333-4444?
Well, I'm glad I don't. No, I don't have that number anymore. I'll make sure
how
you
do you ever give that number up?
I had to, because you know what? Little kids would just call every day because they'd play on the phone. And I'd be like this. I'd pick up the phone and say, tell your mom to buy you a proper toy. A telephone's not a toy.
Literally, you guys, Bob's phone number was like 333-4444.
That's right.
That's the greatest fucking phone number ever, but I guess not.
That was my number. That was my phone number.
You got to leave me yours with the producers. On the
I
way
will.
out,
I will.
You guys pick up the book, The Super Carb Diet. Shed pounds, build strength, eat real food. It's in bookstores now. You can also go on Twitter at MyTrainerBob. Bob, I adore you.
I love you, Jenny.
Congratulations. Come back anytime.
I will.
Thanks, my friend. We'll be right back, you guys.
Jenny McCarthy Show. Oh!